Mortal Kombat 12's roster can bring people out of Liu Kang's shadow. Listen, to say the Mortal Kombat series is attached to its main cast of characters is a bit of an understatement. Now, fighters like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Kano have all been around since the very first game, although there were direct sequels that would attempt to change things up. Like, for example, they dropped Sonya for Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever. Now, the franchise has fallen into a bit of a habit of relying on these characters to provide the main story beats. Like, for example, they keep going back to Shao Kahn, back to Shang Tsung, back to Goro, these same villains over and over again. Now, this is me speaking as a fan. Now, from a marketing perspective, I understand why they go back to these characters, because these characters bring in the money. They're very easily recognizable. This is why Scorpion is on the majority or all of the covers, I should say, or whatever. But we do have a Scorpion and Liu Kang problem. That is a fact across the board. Now, check this out. While new people who are introduced usually only act as an associate or an enemy character sprinkled throughout the story. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. For example, we got what's that new character name with the lamp? I can't even think of his name. It's been so long since I played the game. Collector. So we got Collector, right? Collector's a new character. They introduced him to the MK lore and they placed him there like as if he was always there. But he's not a boss character at all. They're playing it safe by making him a villain, but making him a small municipal threat because he was a disciple of Shao Kahn, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he could have been his own boss, to be honest with you. He had the tools. If he would have had a bigger story, he could have been a real threat. It's like Mortal Kombat don't want to take that risk anymore of adding new villains to the top of the four line. Now, as I said, I understand we got Kronika, but Kronika was not the main villain. She was an appetizer. Shang Tsung was the main villain at the end of this story. Now, a lot of you are going to go, no, Kronika was the main villain. No, she was not. Shang Tsung was. Shang Tsung was meant to be a part of the original story, but due to everything going on in the world and Tagawa's schedule, they were not able to film on NetherRealm's time, so they had to push things back, which is the reason why Shang Tsung ended up becoming part of the combat pack, and he also ended up becoming part of the story mode DLC pack. He became a part of that. All of his stuff was pushed back. He was originally meant to be on the original roster, but as we know, that did not end up happening. He ended up coming as DLC. It worked out perfectly for NRS, but he was always meant to be the original villain, not Kronika. Don't believe me? Ask Ed Boon, he'll tell you himself. Simple as that. Now, and that information came from my source, and that's factual information. Now, I'll just say this here. Check this out. Even some of the most interesting new fighters like DVorah, Kotal Kahn, and Erron Black are sidelined to focus on more traditional characters like Liu Kang-versus-Shang Tsung's story. Don't nobody care about Liu Kang-versus-Shang Tsung. We've seen it in movies. We see it all over the place. We literally just saw it in the new Mortal Kombat movie. Like, I gotta give credit when it's due. DVorah, they pushed DVorah to the moon. DVorah getting pushed like she Roman Reigns out here. She done killed hella people. Who she done killed? She killed Melina. She killed Scorpion. If I'm not mistaken, she killed a couple of more people too. And then she tried to kill Johnny Cage. So they bore her out the cage. They bore her out the cage, bodying people. That's what they have done with that character. Now, is it annoying? Yes, but I do appreciate the fact that DVorah got hands. She a real stepper out here. She putting hands, feet, and tentacles on people. Same thing with Kotal Kahn. Like, they put Kotal Kahn up in there. Kotal Kahn did somewhat of a good job. I mean, he popular. They did have him in MKX and brought him back in 11. So he is a, in my opinion, successful character. Kotal Kahn and DVorah are successful characters. Same thing with Erron Black. I look at Erron Black as a successful character. I'm gonna be honest with you. But can these fighters hold their own without being held up by these older characters? I'm talking about story mode wise. It's always the Liu Kang, the Shao Kahns, and the and the Shang Tsungs. Look at all the previous games. Look how many times we had to watch Raiden send himself back in time throughout all of these games, and we kept doing the tournament over and over and over again. For once, I'm excited that we didn't get the tournament in Mortal Kombat 11. At least it don't feel like we got a tournament. I don't think the story mode was based off a tournament. It was based off you know, time travel and things of that nature. So to get away from the tournament was just hella refreshing. How many times you gonna tell that story over and over again? But now that they went and got the Great Kung Lao, it seems like we getting ready to go right back into tournament mode. But if we gonna go back into tournament mode, then y'all gonna need to take and put us into a part of the MK lore that we never been a part of, such as meeting people from 500 years ago, the older characters and things of that nature. So I'm not saying you can't have a Sub-Zero or a Liu Kang, but you need to have their ancestors at this point and go ahead and do the past, present, and future thing is what they need to do. Now, I'll say this. As another Shaolin warrior who also had the ability, give me 1 second real quick. Hold on, let me fix my mic. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. So, where was I? Oh, basically what I was saying is, as another Shaolin warrior who has the ability to shoot fireballs, this is why I gotta bring up Kai. Kai never had a chance to be as popular as Liu Kang, who has already been established as the series' de facto hero 3 games in a row. And don't get me started on the past previous games from there. So, now that Liu Kang has literally become a god and taken over as protector of Earthream, Kai should be given a chance to shine. Of course, now, Liu Kang's new status as God of Fire and Lightning means Kai likely won't be using Raiden's lightning staff, which he did receive in Mortal Kombat 4's ending, so that's something that needs to be fixed. Let me just say this. I'll tell you this much. He could still stand out from a pick. People remember Kai, they know who he is now, and of course, if Mortal Kombat 12 roster includes all of the fighters from MKX, MK11, it will be both unlikely and unnecessary to put Kai in that game, because slapping him in a game with so many reoccurring characters likely yet again, including the now rotted corpse of Kung Lao, would resign Kai to be ignored once again, and he deserves better than that. Mortal Kombat 12 roster should be smaller so it can give fighters who never had a chance, like Kai, a place to shine. That's all I have to say. Let me pass this question off to you guys in the comment section below. Should Kai get the main role in Mortal Kombat 12? I want to know what you think. Sound off in them comments.